applying that theory or rules, that becomes little challenging. So I thought that I will focus less number of hours on the rules. I'll focus more on the practical insight, on practical application, और जहां पर आप जाके खुद उसे apply कर सको. We'll focus more on that. We'll focus more on the trade setups that have been given to you, that will be given to you post the Master of Waves session or during the session. Apart from that, you will also be getting the recording of Master of Waves for a period of 10 days, limited period of 10 days, which you can go through. उसके बाद में हमारा एक follow-up session होगा वापस से for about an hour or so, where I'll be answering all your questions, doubts, challenges you might have. We are going to club this wave theory along with time cycles, first time cycles, not diving deep into the time cycles part because वो एक खुद एक बहुत ही बड़ा subject है. हमारा मेन इंटेंशन एंड मोटो इज टू एंश्योरिंग दैट वेव थियरी को हम बहुत अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर सके, वी आर एबल टू अप्लाई दैट करेक्टली, एंड विच एवर टूल्स आर रिक्वायर्ड टू प्रैक्टिस वेव थियरी करेक्टली इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, इंक्लूडिंग टाइम साइकिल्स एंड इचिमोको क्लाउड. So we are going to have certain trade setup that can be taken even when you know only a part of wave theory, not wave theory in totality. Still you will be able to take those trades with a much better ability, conviction, and less anxiety. That is what is required in the market. Along with that, we will club the option trading. We have done a lot of things on the option trading program, OTTA. So the participants of BMW are simply going to love it because they know now the options को कैसे use करना है. वहाँ पे patterns है, moving average concepts हमने use किए, lot of those things we did. And now once we know the trend, so how mature the trend is, as I always say, this is the GPS of the market, and how the trend is going to behave from here, whether it's going to go up, it's going to go down, all of those things we are going to do together. तो साथ में वो भी करेंगे. So this webinar has to be in English and Hindi. I can't be speaking only in Hindi. Try and understand that. And साथ में जो हमारा Saturday को शुरू होगा, that is going to be at 10 a.m. in the morning, and it will continue until 4. We will have breaks in between. So that's how we want to go forward. And Sunday we are going to focus a little more on time cycles and Ichimoku cloud. So that's the flow of the entire Master of Waves that is going to happen. Each one of you might have already received a link to Elliott wave videos, which is approximately I think 5 hours or 6 hours. वो video I want everyone to go through it before we start on Saturday. It's not that आपको उसमें से सब कुछ समझ आ जाएगा, maybe नहीं समझा, but at least go through that so that you will have that language, you will have that understanding, you will know at least something about wave theory. So आपको ABC तो पता चलेगा. That is the intention. अगर आपको कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया, it's okay, but give an attempt to go through that video links. अगर आप बोलोगे आपके पास में टाइम ही नहीं था to go through that video links, टाइम मिला ही नहीं because of your job, because of your commitment, it's okay, you can still attend, but it's easy, right? When you know certain things, it's much easier to go through that if you know it pre-hand. That's the intention. So that is how we are going to start, but ensure यार थोड़ा सा टाइम निकालो, ये चीज आपके लिए है, and this is going to change the way you are looking at the market. And you will be receiving the link today if you have not received it yet, so do not worry on that. You can also drop a WhatsApp on the numbers, which is 9920422202. वहाँ पे आप WhatsApp drop कर दो. अगर link नहीं मिला, we will set it up. So don't worry on that. My team will coordinate and get it done for you. So do not worry on that. And the number is shared across. चलिए आगे बढ़ते. Let's not spend more time on how to go about it. Please, next 1 hour, no WhatsApping, tweeting, nothing doing. Just focus on what we are going to do now. This is Master of Waves Kickstart, and you are going to simply love the way this wave theory functions. And we are going to start with something known as patterns. हमारा जो start हो रहा है, we are going to focus on types of patterns that we have. I'm going to use paint for my program. I'm going to draw that. In case you have queries and doubts, you can post it in the chat box. या आप Q&A box में भी डाल सकते हो. In case I miss out, I will ensure to answer queries, doubts with respect to the session that we are conducting right now. If you ask me something with respect to not the session, this is not the forum where I'll be able to answer that. और ये टेक्निक को आप 5 minutes पे अप्लाई कर सकते हो. You can apply it on 15-minute chart. You can apply it on daily. क्या मैं कमोडिटी में अप्लाई करूं कि फॉरेक्स में, कि बिटकॉइन पे, कि निफ्टी पे, कि स्टॉक्स पे, सब जगह अप्लाई कर सकते हो, एक्सेप्ट दैट यू कांट अप्लाई इट ऑन something which is a penny stock, circuit stock. Please, it does not work that way, so do not apply it there. So जो रिटर्न मटेरियल है, we will share across the rule book with you, जो आपके साथ में हम शेयर करेंगे. The slides of the presentation which we are going to cover on Saturday, Sunday will be shared across with you. So you don't really need much from there, because उसके बाद में practical application is what will be required. Otherwise, the book जो है वो है ग्लेन नीली की नियो वेव बुक, which is like a challenge for everyone. So what is why the neo wave? Why not the Elliott wave? You know, दोनों में क्या फर्क है वो मैंने कल बात की थी. I'll just briefly tell you about it again. See, neo wave is something which is more objective. When I was first studying about Elliott wave, I realized that it's very tricky because subjective है. It's a fantastic study. It's brilliant. I still apply Elliott waves on many of the stocks, but फिर भी थोड़ा सा subjective है. वो subjectivity निकालने के लिए हम neo wave use करते हैं, which is a very objective method, which is using more rules, more patterns, and that's why it is very, very objective, which is there. So, okay, the name of the book I'll give you. Name of the book will be Mastering Elliott Wave by Glenn Neely. But बहुत ही challenging है. Do not try to purchase it. Try and go through the trial version if you can. And be okay. ये एक पैटर्न है अलग टाइप का, इम्पल्स के अंदर ही है वो भी. ये नॉर्मल इम्पल्स है, ये टर्मिनल इम्पल्स है, ये ट्रंकेशन है. ओके, then truncation का मतलब हो गया, we will come to that. So we have a normal impulse, we have a terminal impulse, we have a truncation, and we have extension. ठीक है, ये सब अलग अलग चीजें हैं जो इम्पल्स के अंदर ही आती है. Then we have corrective patterns. Corrective patterns will have zigzag, flat, triangle. These are diametric. As I said, if I'm saying Elliott wave, I'm talking pure neo wave only. I will use this interchangeably, so don't get confused. Elliott wave बोलूं या neo wave, one and the same thing. Zigzag, flat, triangle, diametric. Triangle में भी variations होते हैं, flat में भी होते हैं, zigzag and other places also we have. So we have enough zigzag. We have certain variations where we call as an elongated zigzag. Then we have a normal zigzag pattern, depending on how much wave C can go. There is known as something known as truncated zigzag, but it's a false, it's an incorrect name, so I'm not going to use that. Over here we have a flat, which is a regular flat. We have irregular flat. Okay, then in triangle we have variations of a triangle, contracting triangle. We have expanding triangle. We have extracting triangle. And we have irregular triangle. Okay. Then within the diametric, we have two more parts, which we call as a bow tie diametric, and we have a diamond shape diametric. So what we are trying to do here, we want to look at each of these patterns very, very clearly. Now, पहले तो हमें समझना होगा इम्पल्स क्या है, करेक्टिव क्या है, उसके बाद में समझना होगा इसके अंदर के वेरिएशंस क्या है, और उसके बाद में इस इंडिविजुअल पैटर्न के अंदर क्या क्या है. That way. So अभी तक so far we might have come across, as I said, patterns but not of Elliott wave. We come across patterns of a technical analysis study. Now this subject is beautiful क्योंकि यहाँ पे आप पैटर्न को फोरकास्ट कर रहे हैं. You will be able to see कौन सा पैटर्न शायद बन सकता है basis of the behavior of the market currently. Which pattern we will expect it to form basis of the behavior of the current market scenario. ठीक है. Now impulse is always labeled in numbers 1 2 3 4 5. Corrective is इसमें और variations आ जाएंगे, complex corrective. Okay, corrective is always labeled as alphabets, which can be A, B, C. You can see an X, or you can also have W. So let me not mark a dash here. This can be X, it can be W, it can be Y, it can be Z, or there can be E, F, and G also. So these are all the ways in which the corrective patterns are labeled. So wave matlab kya? What is the first thing that you should know when you talk about a wave? A wave is a movement on a price chart. So suppose if I am looking at a price chart here, यहाँ पे एक मैं price chart बना देता हूँ. 1 second. If I am looking at a price chart, there is a movement from one point here to the next point. Okay, एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक का मूवमेंट हमें मिला. We call this movement as a wave. A movement as a wave. We can call it as a mono wave. M मतलब mono wave. यहाँ मैं लिख देता हूँ mono wave. Mono wave means a one single wave movement from one point to the next point. Call it as a mono wave 1. Then we have another movement which happens from here till this point. Call this as a mono wave 2. Another movement upside, mono wave 3. Ultimately अगर आप देखेंगे तो everything is wave. हर एक मूवमेंट जो प्राइस चार्ट पे आपको दिख रहा है वो एक वेव है. हर एक मूवमेंट from this point to the next point, again there is a wave. Mono wave 4, mono wave 5. So अगर मैं आपको ये एक चार्ट दिखाऊं और if I have to just ask you, this is price scale and this is a time scale. If I just ask you simply by showing this chart across, what do you see here? Can I say, let me ask you, let me not answer anything. So what do you think? What are you making out? Whatever comes to your mind. Okay, someone is saying impulse. It's not necessarily with respect to Elliott wave I'm asking. Generally, वो क्या दिख रहा है आपको? चार्ट पे देख के क्या समझ आ रहा है? Uptrend, perfect. Higher high, higher low, yes. Okay. Higher high है, higher low भी है, uptrend है. Fantastic. Bullish trend. Okay. और क्या समझ में आ रहा है? Anything else? Impulse uptrend. Fair enough. Waves. Okay. 5 waves. Okay. W pattern नहीं है, 5 waves है. ठीक है, क्लियरली. तो इससे ये पता चला 2 करेक्शन है. फैंटास्टिक. खाली एक चार्ट के ऊपर अगर हम देखेंगे, we will be able to make out that the overall trend पता चला, move पता चला, and people who know about wave theory already they know extension and those things. We are not getting into that because we first want to understand क्या है क्या. I can say that in this a very clear trend पता चल रहा है, वो ऊपर का है because it is higher high higher low. Simple. Which means this is the trend. That's one information. Can I say, correct me if I'm wrong, क्या मैं बोल सकता हूं M1, M3 और M5 moving in the direction of the trend. M1, M3, M5 is moving in the direction of the trend. M2 and M4 is correcting the trend. One higher trend I am talking about. M1, M3, M5 is moving in the direction of 1 degree higher trend. यहाँ पर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट के वर्ड यूज किया मैंने, जिसे हम कहते हैं डिग्री. ठीक है. सपोज दिस यू आर सीइंग ऑन अ 5-minute चार्ट. ये आप 5 मिनट के चार्ट पे देख रहे हैं. सो एवरी 5 minutes starting at 9:15, 9:20, you will see this 9:25, 9:30 and continue on a 5-minute chart. आप ऐसा देख रहे हो. सपोज आप इसी चार्ट को आवरली कर दोगे 1 hour, maybe you will be able to see something like this. इसी चार्ट को डेली कर दोगे तो maybe you will see this movement. डेली चार्ट 2 दिन का ले लिया सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल. तो अल्टीमेटली हुआ क्या? कैन आई से दैट द 5-minute चार्ट का वेव्स कंबाइन टुगेदर टू फॉर्म दिस स्मॉलर चार्ट मूवमेंट. This wave combined together to form the bigger chart movement. So by this logic, can I say that the entire generation of waves starts from the smallest time frame, which is a tick chart. वहां से शुरू होता है and it continues all the way. Fractal nature, fantastic, absolutely. Hussein, Sunil, yes. फ्रैक्टल नेचर के कंसेप्ट पे आते हैं हम. इसके साथ में होता क्या है, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू सेव दिस स्नैपशॉट आल्सो फॉर यू ऑल, सो आपको नोट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आई विल बी शेयरिंग दिस अक्रॉस विथ ईच वन ऑफ यू, सो डोंट वरी ऑन दैट. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू सेव दिस अक्रॉस फॉर रेफरेंस एंड वी विल शेयर इट अक्रॉस लेटर. सो इस चार्ट के ऊपर अभी हमारे पास में एक समझ में आया, एक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है विच इज नोन एज अ फ्रैक्टल नेचर. मतलब क्या? फ्रैक्टल मतलब क्या? This is the example I give in my trainings. Is suppose if you are not keeping well, you go to a doctor, pathologist, for a blood test. He takes a small part of your blood, puts a fraction of that on the slide, and he will know what is wrong with your body. So इससे पता चला कि यार जो मेरे पूरे बॉडी में है वो मेरे छोटे से ब्लड के ड्रॉपलेट में भी है. Same thing with markets. What is happening on the smallest time frame is how the entire market is replicated. Same thing with the universe. Everything, right from the smallest atom, if you look at an atom, something is revolving around the protons and nucleus, round and round electrons are revolving from that atom to the entire universe. We have a sun and something is revolving around that. Fractal, from the smallest atom to the entire universe, this is how everything is created. That's the creation. Similarly, stock market, जो हमारा ही creation है, हमारे fear, greed का reflection है, हमने जो अति की है उसका reflection है. Everything is reflected in stock market. Extremes of fear, extremes of greed is reflected in stock market, and it represents economy ultimately. So fractal nature will be working even here. Another classic example can be a leaf. As I said, this is an example of a leaf, which is, if you look at a leaf and observe it very closely, this is how you will see it, right? You have, this is how it's forming. You look at the smallest portion, or the smallest portion will represent the entire big leaf. This we know as a फ्रैक्टल नेचर. ठीक है, इसे फ्रैक्टल नेचर कहते हैं. तो जो चीज हम 5 मिनट्स पे करेंगे एज एन इंट्राडे ट्रेड, आवरली पे करेंगे लिटिल पोजिशनल ट्रेड, डेली पे करेंगे एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट और वीकली पे करेंगे, एवरीथिंग द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट अप्लाइज, सेम रूल अप्लाइज. सब कुछ अल्टीमेटली आपके ऊपर है अगर आपको क्या ट्रेड करना है. इट इज एप्लीकेबल अक्रॉस द टाइम फ्रेम. The very reason being markets are fractal. The patterns you see, ये जो भी पैटर्न्स मैंने लिस्ट डाउन किए, ये सब पैटर्न्स आपको 1 मिनट पे भी दिखेगा, टिक चार्ट पे भी दिखेगा, मंथली चार्ट, ईयरली चार्ट, सब पे दिखेगा. Whether you look at US, whether you look at India, look at Bitcoins, everywhere. So don't even think कि ये उस पे नहीं चलता है, उस पे चलता है. As long as it has decent enough volume. Volumes होना चाहिए, मतलब decent का definition नहीं है, but at least it should be widely traded, accepted, so that randomness cancels out. We will not get into much detail of that. We want to first understand the patterns now. Before I move forward from here, I just want to know if you have any questions. समझ में आया? Simple है ना? अभी हम पैटर्न के बारे में समझ रहे हैं और ये समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ये सब चीजों पे एप्लीकेबल होता है. करना क्या है, ये जो मैंने बना रखा है यहाँ पे आपको बाय हार्ट करना है कि ये पैटर्न्स होते हैं. ये पैटर्न्स का कोई स्ट्रक्चर होता है. ओके, दो स्ट्रक्चर यू हैव टू बाय हार्ट. आई एम गोइंग टू राइट इट डाउन आल्सो हियर ओनली ऑन दिस वन स्लाइड. आई एम गोइंग टू राइट इट डाउन एंड आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर इट अक्रॉस विथ यू. वो शेयर करने के लिए यू कैन ज्वाइन आवर टेलीग्राम चैनल which is master of waves वाला टेलीग्राम चैनल. I'll ask my colleague to do that. So let me just check if anyone is there. तो आपके साथ अभी ज्वाइन नहीं करना है प्लीज, अभी फिलहाल फोकस यहीं रखना है. ये नोट्स जो मैं वहां पर शेयर करूंगा and you will be able to get that access. If you don't have it, I'll just ask someone to share that link of telegram channel. For mentees, it will be shared across on your respective mentorship groups, so you don't have to necessarily join that channel. ठीक है. So यहाँ पर अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं, वापस से चलते हैं पैटर्न्स के ऊपर. Before, as I said, if you have questions, you can please post your questions right now. Okay, I'll just take, and question should be regarding the subject. Expanding triangle same as running triangle? नहीं, running triangle अलग है. That we will do it later within triangle. So there are variations that we will do it later.